Fresh 102.7.
It's Fresh 102.7. I'm Trey, joined, you already know who he is, John Legend.
How are you, Trey?
What's up, buddy?
It's good to be back.
You have an album coming out, undisclosed date so far.
Sure. It's called Darkness and Light, new single. It's called Love Me Now.
Yeah, I heard Love Me Now, and you're John Legend.
Sure.
I look at the song title, I'm like, it's gonna be the sweetest song, and then you hit me and like, if I'm gone tomorrow, Love Me Now, like, it's like a sad, happy song.
Yeah, it's kind of in between. It's like we all know that nothing is certain, but let's love each other right now.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
I think it's still a beautiful song. Like, it just means we got to cherish the people we love now.
Like, I was listening to it for the first time, and then I started like questioning my own love life, being like, well, should I? Oh, man, like I need to make some changes. I mean,
we all do, We're all trying to get better.
And the name of the album is Darkness and Light.
Yeah.
Now, how did you settle on that title?
Well, part of it was just whenever I name an album, I'm always usually almost done with it, and I'm thinking about the lyrics of the songs that mean a lot to me, and Darkness and Light as kind of a theme kept coming up in certain songs, and I thought about, what darkness means to me. It means there's, uncertainty, there's trouble, there's things about this world that, might feel like, they're not right. We see a lot of turmoil in the world. We see people struggling, people fighting. And
if anybody follows you on Twitter, they know that.
Yeah, and I talk about those things, but the light is love, it's music, it's the things that bring us together. And so I wanted to think about like what it means to try to find that light in the darkness. And then just coincidences that came up after I kind of settled on that as a title. First of all, we had our daughter, and her name is Luna, which is literally meaning moon, which is the light in the darkness. And then the first song that played when she was delivered was Curtis Mayfield's song Superfly, and the first lyric of the song is Darkness and Night with the moon shining bright. So I felt like it was all meant to be.
So there's this all accidental subtext.
There's all this accidental subtext that came together at the same time, and I was like, oh, that's definitely the title then.
And you can't tell us when you're going to unleash that album.
It's coming very soon. The label doesn't like me to say the exact date because we may move it a week or two one way or the other, but
hopefully it's a week or two sooner.
Yeah, it'll be soon, though.
Keeps getting sooner.
Yeah.
But hopefully sometime this year. It
will be this year.
This year, 2016.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Just in time for Christmas.
Yes.
All right.
Narrowing it down.
I'm trying so hard. You are a very outspoken person.
Sure.
Anybody who follows you on Twitter, like I brought up,
yeah.
I feel like I know what you're thinking as soon as I see Donald Trump say something or Hillary Clinton say, I'm like, oh, John Legend, let me check his Twitter. Did you watch the presidential debate?
Yeah, I did.
And
I mean, clearly somebody had done their homework and somebody hadn't. But I think that's been happening throughout the process. We see one person is really prepared and really qualified, and one person is just winging it throughout and then saying a bunch of racist stuff along the way.
Yeah,
so.
and like I said, I follow you on Twitter, so I see you addressing people who disagree with you.
Yeah, I like to talk to them. Honestly, Chrissy and I talked about this today. We actually want to teach people sometimes. Like, it feels like you're just arguing for the sake of arguing, but I actually want to be like, if you look at it this way, you might change your mind. Here's the data behind this. Here's why I think this way. I'm not just pulling it out of my butt. So, like, I want people to actually learn on Twitter, but I think a lot of times people just talk past each other, and I understand that.
Given my experience, I've tried that route where I try to explain myself.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked for me.
Yeah,
hasn't worked
and maybe
for you.
it doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work, but call me, like, idealistic, and I feel like if I communicate in a way that's, like, truthful, that maybe people will learn from it.
Yeah, and you're actually, when you shut down haters, you're pretty polite about it.
I'm like shady polite.
Chrissy kind of, sometimes like Chrissy's a bit more direct.
Occasionally I'll be really direct, but other times it'll be like a backhanded put down where it's like I'm like slightly being shady but also being polite at the same time. But either way, I do want people to know when they're wrong, but I don't want to make them feel so ashamed unless they're just being nasty.
Yeah.
If you're being really nasty, then I don't care about your feelings. But if I just disagree with you, then I'm not going to try to embarrass you. I just want to maybe convince you that you should
Try
look
your
at it
best.
another way.
Now, because both you and Chrissy, who's sitting out there, you both are very open and honest on social media.
Sure.
Do you ever lean over as you type up a tweet and be like, "Hey, girl, what you think? I mean, should I?"
We look at each other's tweets sometimes.
Like
We're
approval?
It's not approval. It's like a lot of times we're like, oh, why don't you say it this way? Or she'll say the same thing to me. She ghostwrites some of my funniest tweets, I would say.
That's good to know.
And I like to, bask in all the likes and the retweets and have people not know that she actually wrote it.
I mean, that's what a good wife does. She helps you out when you don't have it.
Occasionally I've given her ideas for tweets, but she gives me more than I give her.
I want to talk to you about Colin Kaepernick just for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You've come out very strong words in support. I mean, maybe not even support, but condemnation of the people who are upset.
Yeah, well,
at him.
my thing is, first of all, which I think everyone can agree is we have the right to protest in this country.
Of course.
And for those who are supportive of the military, which I am, for those who value the military, part of what they're fighting for is to protect that right for us to be able to speak out when we see something wrong. And it doesn't mean you don't love your country when you're speaking out against injustice. It actually means you do love your country enough to want it to be better, to want it to be more just, to be more free, to be more loving, to be more inclusive. That means you actually do love the country. You want it to be the best country it can be. And that's how I look at love for country, and that's how I think about my love for America. And when I see somebody protesting something that is really important to them in a peaceful, completely nonviolent way, then I'm like, let them protest, even if you don't agree with them. Let them bring that issue to light. And it seems like sometimes people get more mad about the protest than about the guy who just got shot in the street.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that's worse, not the protest.
I agree with you 100%. Have you had a chance to talk to Mr. Kaepernick?
I haven't talked to him yet, but we have mutual friends that are trying to put us in touch. But I just wanted to express some support because I know he was getting a lot of hate and death threats and all these nasty things just for kneeling down.
Just for kneeling during the Star Spangled Banner. Whichever way you end up on that, Black Lives Matter, the crazy notion of just white lives matter and not standing during the Star Spangled Banner, it is important, like you said, protest. I mean, this country was founded basically on a protest.
Yeah, this country was founded not only on a protest, but a very not peaceful protest. Like the Boston Tea Party was a riot.
Yeah.
The Revolutionary War was about as violent as you can be.
Yeah.
So those were violent protests. What he's doing is a nonviolent protest that hurts no one.
Yeah.
It may offend your sensibilities, but he's trying to bring attention to an issue that he thinks is important. And if you don't think the issue is important, then that's another conversation. But come on. There's a lot of worse ways he could be protesting.
Definitely. All right, so we got the heavy stuff out of the way, Colin Kaepernick. Let's talk about your current career, because you're not just John Legend, the musician,
Sure.
the singer, songwriter, pianist. You're now a producer. You're an activist, like we kind of talked about. You're a father. You're a husband. On that list of all these things you're working on, which one to you is the most important right now?
To me, I have to be a husband and father, most importantly. Those are the same to me. They go together, even though there's aspects of your own coupledom you have to address, but also what you're doing together as parents. But that has to be the most important thing. And then I think music is number 2 to me. Then I think the film and the activism stuff almost goes hand in hand, because a lot of the things we do TV and film about are issues that I care about on the political side as well. So they kind of go hand in hand. But I feel like, I just have to be smart and be careful about prioritizing my time and only putting my name on projects that are really important to me, so that I don't take too much time away from my family and my music, which is still my first love.
Congratulations
as an art.
On Underground.
Thank you.
That's the buzz and the hype and the talk about Underground has been palpable almost. And now,
it's been really great. It's been really well received. We had a great first season, and they're filming the second season right now.
And you have La La Land.
Yes.
With Mr. Gosling.
With Mr. Gosling and Ms. Stone, who is just brilliant in this film. They're brilliant together as a couple. their chemistry on screen is really something beautiful to watch, and it's a full-blown musical, which is pretty daring in itself. Damien Chazelle, who directed Whiplash, he's been working on this idea to create this original classic Hollywood musical.
Now, when you saw the script, were you like, musical, John Legend, acting? I'm in.
I was slightly skeptical because I'm like not one of those people that's certain they love the whole filmed musical thing. Like I enjoy going to some Broadway shows, but I haven't enjoyed a lot of kind of Hollywood versions of musicals on screen a lot lately. So I was like a little skeptical of the idea, but I thought if anybody could do it, Damien could do it right, because I think he has a very like not cheesy sensibility for music. He loves jazz. He loves like really classic, beautiful music, and I felt like his musical sensibility would lend itself well to making a great musical. He asked me to write a song for it, and eventually he asked me to act in it, and we also co-executive produced it. So we're just proud to be part of it, honestly, because it's really brilliant filmmaking, and I think a lot of people are going to love it this year. Now,
this is a musical, so I wonder, because you have several Grammys. You have Academy Award. You have Emmy, right?
No, I don't have Emmy. Golden Globe we have.
Golden Globe. Yeah. Are you just trying to get a Tony now? You're just trying to position yourself to get every single award?
My manager was like, we got to try to get you an EGOT. And I feel like that's, if the art leads us in that direction, we'll do it. But I don't want to just do it just so I can get an EGOT. But if, the right projects come along, then,
But now it's there. Now it's in the back of your head.
Well, like I said, I feel like it's still got to be the right project, because if it's not worth it to just do it to try to chase this award. Yeah. Because if you lead with the award, then you probably won't get it. You have to lead with the art first.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Your album, Darkness
and Light, coming soon.
Soon.
Yes.
Sometime close to
soon
Christmas. Your single out now. It's really good. If you haven't heard it, we're playing the crap out of it, or you can just download it. It's incredible. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
John Legend.